Hey everyone, Rick here, and folks, welcome to the Inn of Your Dreams. We have some unboxings today that I have been waiting months for. My pre-orders finally came in. We've been waiting for these guys since like April or something like that. Dungeons and Dragons, Icons of the Realms. These are the Yawning Portal in furnishing sets, specifically beds and bottles, as well as bars and tables. And of course, we had to get a couple of each and pick these up from my friendly local game store, The Game Shop in Bellevue, Nebraska. Just today, pre-order came in hot off the UPS truck or whoever it may be, but we're going to crack these open right now. I just put out this very simple, basic Warlock tiles build just to give us a place to put some of this stuff, but here we go. So I'm going to zoom out for just a sec so we can take a look at the packaging. So first up is the beds and bottles. Honestly, this is the set that I'm most excited about because this one has a lot more of the furnishings I can see myself using most often. And I mean, look at this list of stuff. This is insane. Now, I will admit, I did not pay anywhere near this price. 60 bucks seems like quite a bit for, I mean, there's a lot in here, but that seems like an insane price. But this is a good thing about pre-ordering, and I encourage you all to do so. When something gets announced that you want, pre-order it. That'll lock your price in. Originally, this was $39.99, and I also got a 20% off thanks to a loyalty bonus. So, I mean, that was like 32 bucks compared to $60 is what it's going for now. I don't know if the content's changed since then, if maybe there was more put in, but I mean, how fantastic is that? Anyway, enough with the price talk. That was the back of the box, by the way. Kind of goes over some of the stuff, but look at this long list of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here. Specifically, some things that I'm really excited about are the nightstands, as well as the stack of barrels. This right here, like some of the stuff you can get already, like these stools. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the stools, but I love the chairs. I haven't seen the square table yet. And of course, the bedding has the Yawning Portal symbol on it. And and that's a set that's out now too. My friendly local game store showed me the Yawning Portal set, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. Originally, though, I believe, and they seem to change their sets every once in a while. Originally, I thought it was 3 stories tall, and now it's just 2. Still very impressive, but just with all this terrain I have enough stuff where I can make an inn of my own. But I actually don't mind that the bed sheets and some of the other pieces we're about to take a look at actually have the Yawning Portal imagery on them. I think that's actually I think kind of looks kind of cool, actually. But here we go. So here it is. Right out of the box, there will be a plastic layer, it looks like, that just pulls off to keep everything in place in here. Jury's still out on if I'm going to leave them stored in this or not. For now, I probably will. But let's go ahead and start taking stuff out of here and putting it into our makeshift tavern or inn. All right, we're going to go piece by piece. All right, first up, the beds. So, and you can see they are keeping with a grid here, folks, which is fantastic. So here's a bed. It's 1 inch wide, 2 inches long. So that'll fit perfectly in any of your kind of grid-based layouts. Here's the double bed. So here's the single bed. That'll focus. Here's the double. Now, the double actually is only about 1.5 inches wide, still 2 inches long, but it doesn't take up a full 2x2 square, as you can see there. Let's take a closer look at some of this. So they always kind of do like a wash over the wood. Oh, fun and games. I'm never prepared, never. Always leave my notifications on, and it never fails. Someone will do something to make that go off. Anyway, so here we go, the bed, and as you can see, typically on the wood pieces of the terrain, they have like a wash on them, so you can see the wood grain detail. Maybe having that background was not the best idea, because it seems to want to focus on that a lot. Quilted pattern on the bedspread, which is nice. You can see the pillows there. The undercarriage of the bed, the underside looks, pretty nice. because they actually do have the wood slats painted under there. So, I mean, the attention to detail on these is pretty good for just, your basic paint job. But someone like me, again, who doesn't like to paint, oh, this is fantastic. And again, here's the single bed, similar situation here. So you get 2 beds. You get a double and you get a single. All right, next up are one of my favorite pieces in the entire set, and that is these nightstands. You get 2 of them. So you can see the little metal work on the handles. And just kind of a dark wash all around. Little nubs for feet. But it's flat on top. You can put stuff on there. If you have a little lantern or something you want to stick on there, a little bedside book or something. But I mean, look how nice that looks. We're going to separate these out here a little bit. So each bed gets a nightstand. That is fantastic. A nightstand is a piece that you don't commonly see. Here is a piece I believe we have seen, but maybe not this exact model. It's a long table. The underside looks like this. You can actually see how it's constructed with these wooden slats. And that focus going in and out, I apologize. That is annoying the heck out of me. But we also have like the nails. Look at that. The nails are even picked out with paint. I don't know what all this is. It's like a adhesive or something maybe. But like on this side, you don't see that. But you can see all the little nails picked out there. That's fantastic. The top of the table looks great with the wood grain and the wash and whatnot. This feels like a different table than the other long one. In fact, let me go take a look. No, I think they are the same. I just grabbed one that was in one of the Warlock Tile Dungeon Dressing set, I think. And it looks like this is the exact same table. So it is the exact same table. It looks like these are 3 inches long and 1 inch wide. So again, sticking to that grid, which is fantastic. Next up, we have a couple of other tables here. And you can never have too many tables. Here is a square table. I bet it's 1 inch. Yep, a perfect inch. Here is a round table. Now, we've seen this round table before. Of course, looking up at it close like this, I'm like, are the other round tables that detailed around the legs in there? I don't honestly know. But they're a nice 1 inch round table, 1 inch square table. They look great, even from the underside. Nice and sturdy looking square table. So the square table, at least to my knowledge, is new. Next, I'm just going to throw all these out there because I am not a fan of these whatsoever. These remind me of wheels. All these stools. I mean, and of course stools are helpful, but gosh, I'll be honest, I'm not a big stool fan in this form. These single-legged stools. What does it remind me of? It honestly reminds me of Lego, where you'd have a piece in black that looks almost just like this, and it would clip up under something as wheels. Just being a big Lego fan makes me constantly compare. But so yeah, I'm not a big fan of these stools, but they're there. They're pieces. But here is what I absolutely am a huge fan of, and that is these chairs. Oh my gosh, these are some of my favorite miniature chairs of all time. Just because of how detailed and delicate they look. Look at all this work, all the slats in the back, the wood grain on the seat, the way they're constructed, and just the overall look and feel to them is fantastic. Look at that. That's awesome. We're not even done yet. We've already pretty much filled up this entire space. Let's back this up a bit. We're going to have to rearrange stuff if we want to get the bars and tables set in. So again, we started with beds and bottles, which is kind of funny because this actually has not a single bottle in it. The other set, bars and tables, actually has all the bottles. I mean, technically, I guess this one does have kegs, but there's multiple kegs too. But let's go through the stuff we've seen before, which are these barrels. So it comes with 2 barrels. But look at this. What's really cool, and what I wasn't expecting, was they are also logoed with the Yawning Portal Inn logo on them. But if you don't want them logoed, you can put the logo on the bottom, I suppose. But that is very cool. A couple of barrels there. And then we have a big old keg, monster keg. This is absolutely gigantic. It'll be better once we get our bar in here, but for now we'll just stick it over there. And then this is one of my favorite pieces. The brand new, I've never seen this before, so comment below if this was in a set previously. This is the stack of barrels. How awesome is that? That is freaking sweet. Because I'll do something like that. I'll have like barrels, you know, 3 of them in a corner or something, and I'll stick another one on top there because I love the look of a barrel stack on their sides. But now we actually have one in one big stack. Of course, they're smaller barrels, but when you see this next piece, it'll fit in perfectly. Look at this tiny little keg. Now this is the more miniature size keg, of course, with an actual miniature next to it. That looks pretty good. So what is this one called? So that, I believe, is the 6-foot keg on stand. Here is a small keg. And no. Or is this the barrel on a stand? I think this is just called the barrel on the stand. And it's the same size barrel as the barrels that were stacked, which is perfect. And then here is the little keg on the stand. So it's so cool how we get all these kegs, all these different kinds of barrels. That's what it should have been called, was beds and barrels instead of beds and bottles. Oh my gosh, I'm wrong. Oh no, I'm wrong. Well, it's too late now. Hopefully people who heard me say this set had no bottles in it didn't immediately leave the video and go complain, because yes, in this little plastic baggie, the bars and tables set does not have this. This is in the beds and bottles. Oh my gosh, how stupid. And I even showed this picture earlier of all these bottles and kegs or mugs. They're all in this little plastic baggie. Oh, how embarrassing. All right, but we're gonna crack this little baggie open as well. There's gonna be a ton of little bottles in here. Oh my gosh. I was like, well, I mean, look at all the stuff you get in a single set, and there's more. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna have to do, look how tiny these are. These are little tiny ones, but I love it. Oh my gosh. And don't worry, we'll get up close. We will absolutely get up close, but I want to stick them on these tables. And then we can take a peek. Once I get them on here. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. There are 8 of the mugs. There are 4 with foam and 4 without foam. And there are multiple sets of little tiny bottles. How many are there? Gosh, you have to be so careful. It looks like there's, I'm looking at the inventory. 1 3-bottle cluster, 1 5-bottle cluster, and 1 8-bottle cluster. Oh my gosh, these are so small. But look how, and I love that they didn't make them oversized to try to, do anything crazy. But look at this. Look at these little guys. So there's the 5-bottle cluster and the 3-bottle cluster, along with the mugs with foam and without foam. And here are some more. Here is the big ol' 8-bottle cluster with some more of those mugs. And are those mugs not just absolutely perfect size? Oh my gosh. But here you go, folks. This is everything. This is everything in the beds and bottles set. By far my favorite of the 2 sets. And now we've got to make room. Oh my gosh, we have to make so much room, because now we have the bars and tables set to unbox. So let's zoom back out again. Here we go. Here's bars and tables, and this one has a lot less in it. I mean, you can tell by the inventory. Look how small that inventory is. Look how big that inventory is. But of course, this has a lot more larger pieces. So here we go. Opening up bars and tables. And of course, there's more stools in here too. More of those darn stools. And so that's why I recommend, you can maybe get away with getting just one of these, because this has all the bar uh, pieces you need, and a lot of tables too. Look at it. You get two of each, of the round, the square, and the long. You don't get as many chairs though. But if you get two of the beds and bottles, that'll give you 4 beds. That's enough for an inn. And then, of course, or get more, whatever the case may be. In fact, I have actually another set of each still on the way. But here we go. Let's zoom in now. And you can see on the bar that the Yawning portal symbol is on the front of the bar pieces as well. But yeah, I think you could get away with one of these sets to give you all the bar pieces and a lot of tables, and then maybe 2 of these sets to give you all the mugs, all the barrels, all the beds and nightstands. But we've got to start moving some of this. So we've seen a lot of this, so now we can move the bed stuff maybe over here. And then we'll start putting the bar stuff back against the back. All right, so you get 2 of these longer bar pieces. So here it is. Here are your bar counters. Don't do that. And you got the bar top, the sides, and look at that. You even got shelves on the back. So if you wanted to store some of your mugs back there, you absolutely could do that, but it's a very nice piece. Let me guess, 2 inches. Yep, exactly. So you get 2 of those. So here's the other one. And then you also get 1 of each of the single 1-inch bar sections. And a corner bar section. Now this one doesn't have any shelves on it, but how nice is that? So what is the point of that? Interesting. I almost kind of wish, well, I mean, it's fine, of course. Are we zoomed in as far as we need to be? All right, well, before we mess around with the bars, let's pull out the rest of this, which we've seen 2 more long tables. Good Lord, we are filling this thing up. 2 more of these amazing square tables. 2 more of these awesome round tables. Oops. 4 more chairs. 4 more chairs. And yes, 6 more stools. And you know what? The stools actually don't look too bad, especially not when you put them up against the bar. Look at that. Look at these. Up against the table, it doesn't look the best. But look at that, up against the bar counter. That actually looks pretty good, I'm not going to lie. They're growing on me a little bit. It's just I can't get over the fact they look like Lego pieces. All right, anyway. So what I was kind of hoping for, I was like, why is this corner, I guess, I don't know. I still don't quite understand. I wish the corner, see how it's like shorter that way and longer that way? And so if I wanted to do something like this, I mean, I guess that's not too, that's actually okay. That's fine. I don't know why I was having a problem with that, because it makes a nice L. I was like, but then you have this part right here. I was hoping that, it would be just that wide there and then kind of cut off here without this extra piece there. But actually, that's not too bad. And in fact, it doesn't quite keep on the inch grid the best doing that, because this part here does kind of spill over, so you don't have a full inch on the other side of that, but that's no big deal. I mean, that's just being nitpicky. But overall, I love it. Look at this. Holy smokes, this was just 1 set of each. Holy cow. Look at how full your tavern. That's an entire tavern right there. Oh my gosh. That's absolutely awesome. And you know me, I'm not one for exaggeration or hyperbole. I'm not easily excited. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I get excited at the drop of a hat. But anyway, I mean, this just looks absolutely awesome. You can fill up, what is this even? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is a 10 by 10 room, and that is that's completely filled. It's overfilled. And then you can start putting some of the beds and end tables in a bedroom or two off to the sides, and then you have the bar. And obviously we wouldn't put this on the table. Now that we have the bar here, we can start putting some of this stuff on the bar, and the barrels maybe off to the side and whatnot. Yep. Oh my gosh, I'm absolutely loving it. Pre-painted dungeon dressing, in this case tavern dressing. And that is it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed unboxing it. And yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking 2 of these is good and 1 of these. But I don't know. I mean, can you imagine any more than this? That might be overkill. Maybe just 2 beds, as long as you have a couple rooms. And there's other ways to get beds. But of course, if you are like, Rick, should I get this or shouldn't I get this? I am the worst enabler of all time. My answer is always going to be get it, because you're going to, if you have too much, that's never a problem. But if you have too little, then you're like, So get it, folks. Treat yourself today. Pick up a pack or 2 of the Dungeons and Dragons Icons of the Realms Yawning Portal Inn bars and tables and beds and bottles. And that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And until next time.